the strike's over. Sag-Aftra signed a tentative agreement, or at least it's been reached, except that does not mean the strike's over, not in the least. Sag-Aftra did actually tweet out, or Sag-Aftra News, I should say, saying, "We have reached a tentative agreement with the video game bargaining group, which includes some of the largest video game companies in the world, and we are hopeful that our video game strike will be suspended in the coming days." Amazing, right? Sounds great. Duck here saying, "Big news, it's about time. Finally, we'll be waiting when the strike is officially concluded." And then a lot of people very upset that obviously it's lasted this long, and people like Stell and Kalis' VA from Honkai Star Rail have been replaced at this point. Kenichi's VA to be replaced. So many VAs from ZZZ. However, there is more news. I tweeted out about this. I hope this has shown people how ridiculous this union is, and the voice actors that feel stuck in it can manage to get out of it. Glad the billion-dollar company didn't succumb to the pressure. I then said, surely this means muted characters will be back, right? Even though Hoyo wasn't actually affected by the strike itself, this is still what people wanted out of the whole work refusal. Other than Hoyo becoming union. Never gonna happen. Hoyo's not gonna become union, dude. Tentative agreement is one thing, but Hoyo themselves haven't signed this because they weren't affected by it. There's no reason for them to sign it. They have not signed this agreement. Hoyo is not part of this. Sam Slade is absolutely great, by the way. Ambi and ZZZ, Topaz, Honkai Star Rail. They said, for anybody confused about what this means but don't want to read past the headline, I got you. Sag-Aftra and the signatory video game companies, which include Activision, Blindlight, Disney character voices, Electronic Arts, EA Games, Epic Games, Formosa Interactive, Insomniac Games, Take-Two Productions, and Warner Brothers Games have reached a tentative agreement. It's expected the terms of a strike suspension agreement will be finalized with employers soon. Until such an agreement is reached, Sag-Aftra members will remain on strike against these employers. Why is that important, you might ask? Because a lot of people are acting like already this strike is done and finished. That is not the case, dude. That is not the goddamn case. I do wonder how everything's gonna go with Hoyo after this, dude. I really do wonder. Hoyo wasn't affected by the SAG strike. Like, at this point, they're not. So the people that are still doing a collective work refusal, the reason why a lot of people, and I'm not saying this is everybody, but a reason why a lot of the VAs are still doing the collective work refusal, according to people like Caretta, is because they just want Hoyoverse to join Sag-Aftra as a union game. They want to unionize Genshin. It's not gonna happen. If they sign this tentative agreement and people still do this collective work refusal for the sole purpose of making Hoyo a union company and Genshin a union game, they should replace them at that point. Chat, I literally cannot find for the life of me where this tweet is, the specific goddamn tweet that I was talking about. It was a VA that tweeted it out, I'm pretty sure, because it was a VA that was a part of the industry that literally went on and said, no, sorry, it wasn't a VA, it was an actor, not related to Hoyo stuff. This was an actor that tweeted out that SAG signed some kind of not interim agreement, but tentative agreement with the studios back then when it was about actors in general, like the grand scope of actors. And when they signed it, it absolutely demolished a certain part of the acting industry. Namely, I think they said the stunt department or something. Oh my god, you absolute fucking legend. Bro, I thought it was a longer tweet. That's why I couldn't find it. Croco Girly, thank you so fucking much. Holy shit. Yeah, it's this. So it was under Alejandro's tweet. It says, I truly wish you luck because when they reached an agreement for us, it ended up complete BS and crippled the stunt departments. This is a Hollywood stunt person turned mad scientist VTuber. I haven't seen other people worried about this other than that person, but I myself am rightfully worried. I feel like that if they do, like, I don't know what's in this tentative agreement. None of us do. Fuck it, dude. Let's just take a look at this. This is on SAG's post that they linked. It is expected the strike will be suspended once the terms of a strike suspension agreement are finalized with employers. Isn't that what tentative agreement reached means? That it's been why post this now? Is this just a freaking red herring to put out there to make them try and look good? Why post this image now when it's not been agreed and finalized? Why get people's hopes up when it could backfire instantly? Specific details of the agreement will be released with the ratification materials. I'm so excited to see this agreement, dude, because I can guarantee there's going to be some fucked up stuff in there. I guarantee it. And I'm not excited that there's going to be fucked up stuff in there. I just know for a fact it's not all going to be rainbows and butterflies like people are expecting. I hope it is. I hope it is. I hope people can just come back and be fucking happy. I just don't expect it. Not with the amount of bullshit that Sag-Aftra has thrown at not only the communities following these games and developers, but the games themselves. Everyone at Sag-Aftra is immensely grateful for the sacrifices made by video game performers and the dedication of the Interactive Media Agreement Negotiating Committee throughout these many months of the video game strike. Patience and persistence has resulted... Okay, patience in certain aspects, yeah, but come on now. Resulted in a deal that puts in place the necessary AI guardrails that defend performers' livelihoods in the AI age. I hope that's the case for all of the companies mentioned. mentioned. But again, for all of you thinking this has to do with Hoyoverse, it does not. I love how this is a secondary fact that they're putting here, but bro, the way that they've made this look is that these important other gains are actually the main purpose of this goddamn strike.
I like money.
As soon as this is ratified, we roll up our sleeves and begin to plan the next negotiation. What next? So the definition of tentative, done without confidence, or not certain or fixed, provisional. So basically, what they've done here is they've put out a provisional agreement for people to sign, but not released any details of that provisional agreement. I feel like they haven't moved the needle forward at all yet. I don't trust shit until they show this agreement and how it's actually going to benefit people. And I think I'm totally in my right to not believe shit. At the end of the day, if this is a tentative agreement and they're so confident that this is going to be the end of the strike, there shouldn't even be a next negotiation. They should just be like, but either way, if there is more negotiations, we'll see. I just don't expect this strike to be ended overnight like people expect it to be. Sag-Aftra members have been on strike against video game employers since July 26, 2024. Almost an entire year, gamers. We are like 2 weeks away from it being an entire year. Prior to that, Sag-Aftra members approved a video game strike authorization in September 2023 with a 98.32% yes vote. I wonder how many of those people now regret doing that. I am not against video game strikes. I am not against striking for the right causes and the right means. I support that shit until the end. If this strike remained about AI, I would still be supporting it to this day, like I did for months, half a year plus. The only time I've called them out on the bullshit is when they've come clear with the bullshit. When the voice actors were still on a collective work refusal, they couldn't call it a strike at that point because it was confirmed that Hoyoverse was not a struck company and that it's not affected by this AI bullshit because Hoyoverse already have AI protections in the contract. And it also wasn't affected as much as people made it out to be by voice actors not making union wages because Josie Agent in his video and multiple of other people, whether accidentally or not, because some voice actors did accidentally confirm this, that Hoyo pays at minimum union wages, sometimes more. So what was the reason? What was the reason for the continued collective work refusal other than what Karina said, which was to basically strong-arm Hoyoverse into becoming a union company, or at least to strong-arm Genshin into becoming a union project? Do y'all realize just how much it would affect the entire demographic and entire voice actor community and much more things if Hoyo had actually become union? We've seen the type of people that are doing this shit at SAG. We've seen them literally send threatening letters to Venti's VA for crying out loud. We've seen so much shit. If Hoyo became a union game as part of SAG, they could easily start enforcing Global Rule 1 like they've already threatened to do, by the way, when Venti's VA came out and started talking shit about it. They've already started enforcing Global Rule 1 apparently, which if you're not aware, Global Rule 1 is basically, in layman's terms, please correct me if I'm wrong here, it's where union VAs cannot work on non-union projects. Genshin is a non-union project right now. The amount of Genshin VAs at the minute that are non-union probably wouldn't have a leg to stand on because Sag-Aftra themselves have already said and made it clear that they think like union VAs are of better quality than non-union VAs as well. They said that. It's crazy, dude. Sag-Aftra does not feel like a union. It feels like a mafia, like a cult. It feels like a monopoly, like they're trying to monopolize these video games and developers. It doesn't feel fair. I really hope the VAs that have realized what this is and are trying to get out of SAG manage to do it because this is just sickening. And like I say, dude, I do really feel bad for the VAs that have realized what bullshit this is and that were lured into this strike under false pretenses or lured into Sag-Aftra under false pretenses, and they've realized now that it's not the best thing. Pretty sure the VAs are suffering more than us here. Yeah, as a collective, I will never say all the VAs are suffering because there's been a lot of VAs that have really proven to be just dog shit human beings. I'm going to keep it a buck. And obviously, there's been a lot of VAs that have proven to be great people as well. There's exceptions under every single umbrella that you try to put people under. Absolutely. No matter what, there will always be exceptions. But yeah, it's just sad, dude. It's just sad. But I'm hoping for the best, dude. Hoping for the goddamn best. We'll see. It's a monopoly. It's a company trying to strong arm their way into being the sole way an actor gets anywhere in the US or blacklisted. Exactly.